Before college Hunks hauling junk, I was actually in the oil field. And so I was a safety advisor for one of the major drilling companies. And of course, downturn occurs, and one thing led to another, and basically my company was offering severance packages. So I went ahead and volunteered for one. So that way Ashley and I could follow our dream of starting up our own business.
Well, we have 3 kids. We have a 13-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old. So I have stayed at home with them for many years and taught preschool in addition to managing our home. Yeah, well, it was the opportunity for us to grow something together, to do something that would not only be something that we could build just for us, but something we could build for our family, something that our children could step into and have opportunity to learn things in life they wouldn't have otherwise. And then also, one of the core values is building leaders, so the chance to do something where we can inspire other people to follow their dreams. And I feel like personally, just it's better in life to evaluate your God-given potentials and abilities and step out in faith to do those things than it is just to play it safe, basically, and do something that other people say you're good at or other people say you can do, but isn't necessarily the full potential of what you have in your life to do.
From my standpoint, there wasn't much that I, in essence, disliked about my previous job. I actually enjoyed it. I got to travel all over the world. I visited probably 26 different countries. So, without that job, without that position in the company, I wouldn't have been able to do those things. So I actually enjoyed a lot of aspects of it, but kind of like Ashley touched on, there was that point at which we kind of took a step back and said, why are we driving so hard for a company that we don't own, that we don't have any stake in, and that in essence is just paying me a salary to do this? And so we kind of took that step back to say, well, with the fluctuation and the uncertainty in the oil market, why not go ahead and face that same type of uncertainty in a business? And so we decided to go ahead and launch into it. We actually went through a franchise recruiter. So it was a company called FranNet, and our local representative is Diana Tronson. And she was putting on a meeting through SCORE, which is kind of a nonprofit business organization. And so I saw that she was putting on something about franchises. We had been interested in the concept of franchising. And so I went to the meeting to talk with her. And basically one thing led to another, and we signed up for her services. She did a full battery of personality tests and financial analysis and everything else to determine what would work best for our situation. And so she presented us with 3 options. And we went through the due diligence with all 3 of them and decided on College Hunks Hauling Junk.
Well, what set it apart for us and why we chose College Hunks is that it is a values-based company. We really identified with the fact that they care a great deal for their customers, and they care a great deal to go above and beyond to see the needs of their customers. And also, I've always, for at least the last several years, have read reviews before I buy something, before I hire a company for service. I read the reviews and figure out beforehand, are they a good company? And this is a company that College Hunks is a business that really seeks to please their customers and seek to do the best thing by their customer and to be an honest company. And so that was a great fit for us also.
Yeah, I know what really set it apart is the same concept. It's the values-based system. So, any company that's not founded on values or doesn't have a foundation of values is a company that's doomed to fail. And so another company can say they have values, but if they're not actually standing on those values as the true foundation, then again, it's going to fail. So to see the values that College Hunks has, and us having a more faith-based view of the world and knowing our own values and our own code of morals and ethics, the values definitely lined up with our own personal values. But to take it that step further and see how College Hunks actually lives out those values. So it's not just, hey, here's our values, and then they put them on a shelf and make them look pretty. It's here's our values, and here's how we're fulfilling those values. You can see it every day. And so that's really what set College Hunks apart to us.
Yeah, and we have a strong network of people that have really great advice that we can go to anytime and can share with us. Here's what not to do, here's mistakes we've made, as well as help point us in the right direction to get us going in the right area quicker.
Definitely. The other franchisees have been amazing.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things about this franchise systems as a whole, but more specifically about College Hunks. I have yet to meet a rude franchisee. So everybody is just completely forthright with information. If you have any questions whatsoever, you just find another franchisee, call them on the phone, and they'll spill their guts all they want to you. However much time you have to talk to them, that's how much time they're going to spend with you. So it's been great in that regard.
I was just going to say, somebody who shares a similar passion for the service industry, who can identify people's needs and then find out a way to go above and beyond to fulfill their needs. For example, we have a client who just suffered a loss in their family, and they want us to come remove the item. But rather than just show up and do the job and give them a coupon for a discount, we thought, why not give them a gift card to go out to eat, a small gift card, so that way when you're mourning a loss with somebody, you don't necessarily want to have to worry about meal planning too. So rather than just a coupon, we can do something more to help them, just so that they can go out to eat and take care of the need, but see what else we can do for customers and what else we can do to provide a full package and a really satisfied customer, and ultimately help those people around us, and that's a huge value for us.
The man she's talking about, I mean, obviously he suffered a loss, and just talking to him on the phone during our welcome call, you could hear kind of the hurt in him, and the cards, everything that we do goes beyond that aspect of customer service, because it's more than that. It's actually reaching out and saying, hey, we're here with you. We're here to be a part of your life, not just to come in for a few minutes and then move your stuff and then we're gone and never see you again. It's, we want to actually reach in and touch somebody's life and say, hey, this is what we're willing to do, but we want to go above and beyond that and have an impact on your life. Our purpose is to move the world. And so it's not just move the world physically, it's move the world emotionally and actually have that impact in the community that you're in with the people that you're with. And, people use us every day to come into their house, come into their private world. And so if we have the mentality of the listen, fulfill, and delight, we're actually going in and saying, hey, we want to be a part of your life. We're in your community, we're a part of your community, and we really want to touch your life more than just moving your stuff out. Because we had a call, it was an awesome customer, he was a great guy, but when we show up, of course, he wasn't really familiar with the junk hauling industry, so he didn't know exactly what to expect. But when we show up, of course, we get out and we have our uniforms on, and shirts are tucked in, and our pants are clean, and everything looks good, and we have collared shirts on. So all of these things that set us apart. And of course, his eyes are really big, and so he's looking at us. We're climbing out of the truck, and we're doing a couple things to kind of start walking towards him. And he's looking at the truck, and he's looking at us, and then he looks back at the truck, and then he looks back at us. And of course, I'm laughing. I'm like, what is it with this guy? And so we get closer. We finally start talking to him. We're like, hey, my name's Ryan Shahan. We go through our spiel. And sure enough, he's like, I'll be honest, I didn't know what to expect with you guys. Like, when I first hired you, I thought you were going to show up with, tattoos all over your body and big beer belly sticking out with a torn t-shirt on, or maybe some coveralls. He's like, I didn't really expect you. You guys look professional. And so I said, yeah, that's a pretty common misperception about the junk hauling industry, but more about what College Hunks does to go above and beyond. So, the concept of always branding, or the value of always branding and always putting yourself on stage of saying, we're a professional company. We're not, your John Smith junk haulers with a pickup. We are a professional organization offering a premium service. So you're going to get what you pay for with us, and probably more. I guess kind of to answer a question with a question. So how big is the opportunity for growth? You can almost answer it with, well, how big do you want to be? Right? It's how big do you dream? How big is your vision? How big do you want your operation to be? Because that's how big the opportunity is. So, I kind of go with the saying of dream big, think big, and act big. Because we want to be a bigger company. We want to have the biggest footprint within our territories as we can have. So for us, the opportunity, right now, I can't see a ceiling because there's so much opportunity of growth, and especially with our territory here in the Southwest Houston, there's so many things being built, so many neighborhoods going up, so many people moving in and moving out, and so much stuff being generated that opportunity-wise, it's based off of you. How big do you want to be? And that's probably how big you can be in this industry. I guess our main customers, especially right now, are the people who really place a high value on their time. So it's kind of hard right now to say, this is our target age, or this is our target, demographic, because people put value on their time regardless of their socioeconomic status. So, they could make $150,000 a year and they value their time very highly. So they're going to have somebody come in and clean out their garage instead of spending the 6 to 8 hours that they would spend trying to get it cleaned out themselves. You can honestly be only making $50,000, but hey, that Saturday you want to spend with your kids. You don't want to spend it cleaning out the attic, or knocking out some of the honeydews of cleaning up the house and getting different things taken out of the house. And so our main customer, it's kind of general, but it's anybody who really places a high value on their time.
They've taken a wealth of knowledge from past or current successful business owners, pretty much packaged it up in a very understandable way, and we can take that information and learn from it and grow with it and establish systems. They also they'll always answer our phone calls, they'll always answer our emails in any way that we need support. They're there to help us out. They're also building national accounts. They're always working on building national accounts with other professional companies so that the brand as a whole is getting more established, the nation is becoming more aware of College Hunks. And then, of course, ways that we can partner with those accounts that they're forming. And then also they are really fantastic at giving us all of this information and all these opportunities, but then taking a step back and letting us then be creative with our own abilities and actually grow our own business and actually take ownership over this business that we're forming.
I love the people interaction, whether it's your employees, because you will be an employer. And so the weight of responsibility that's placed on your shoulders when somebody works for you can be either burdensome, or it can also be something that's very inspiring, because I know that I have 4 guys that work for me. And so I need to provide for them. I need to come up with ways for them to make the money and have the things that they need. But on top of that, building an environment to where they can come in and learn about business and grow in regards to, business acumen. So 2 years from now, my own personal goal is to have 2 people that I've trained up, that I've taught, that I've mentored, and they launch out on their own to open up their own business. And so the building leaders of those who actually work for you is amazing. And then Another thing that I enjoy, I've already kind of touched on, is that customer interaction. I love talking to the customers because everybody's got an original story. Everybody's got something that either you can learn from or something that you can just enjoy talking about for however long that customer has. So I really like the customer interaction, talking to them on the phone, talking to them at the job itself, and just hearing about their life. That part's fun.
Yeah, I was going to add too, just that I love the creative aspect of the job, of stepping outside of your comfort zone and even learning things about myself that I didn't know before, or things that I can do that I didn't know I could do, simply because there's this opportunity now to step out and try these different things. Like you said, love people. So love the opportunity to have relationships with people and talk to customers, find out what needs are, satisfy other people, and then the opportunity to inspire other people to dream big, and absolutely to inspire our children and be a demonstration to them that they can step out and do whatever their dream is. And you're not limited in life. You can dream big and go for big things.
I guess just kind of to add a few more, I mean, it is awesome to be able to build something. So to take that step back, 2 years from now and look at what was just built. And I think that aspect of knowing that all the blocks we're putting in place now as we start to grow this has been amazing, because you're affecting something in the future, whether it's a person, whether it's the community, whether it's just the environment that you're around, you're affecting that entity. And so to know, especially on the franchise with College Hunks Hauling Junk, to know that you're building on a solid foundation. So you're not putting blocks on, sinking sand. You're not building on something that's going to collapse. You're building on something that's a proven foundation of the 4 core values that we live life by, that we do business by. And then all of the experience and all the franchisees that have gone before us, we have that opportunity to now build on top of that, and to take that step back years from now and say, look at this.
What it allows us to do that we couldn't do before is the opportunity to accumulate resources to then go out and accomplish even bigger dreams and a bigger vision that we have for ourselves, for us as a couple, and for our family. Just those resources, whether it be relationships or financial gain, whatever it is, the opportunity to go fulfill a bigger dream for our lives.
Mm-hmm. For me, it is the freedom aspect, which if you would have asked me before we purchased the franchise, my idea of freedom would have been a little bit different, because to me, back then, freedom was, oh, good, I don't have to go to this job at 4:30 in the morning and work until 4 in the afternoon. I can set my own schedule and do this. Freedom was a different concept, but now, I work. You're going to have to put in work. There's no way around it. You're going to put in a lot of work, a lot of hours. But the freedom is, you have the freedom to do what you need to do. So you have the freedom to make the decisions that you need to make. You have the freedom to build the way that you want to build. You have the freedom to interact with customers the way that you need to interact with customers, and provide for your employees the way that they need to be provided for. So it's not the freedom of just the time where you can do whatever you want, because that's not always the case. You're going to be busy and you're going to have to work. That's how it goes, because you're building a business. But you still have freedom within that to do what you need to do. Would I recommend College Hunks to others? Absolutely. There's no question in my mind. I think you're dealing with a proven system. You're dealing with a solid system with a solid foundation. And you would enter into almost like a family with other franchisees, to where any question that you have, any problem you run into, has probably been faced before or asked before. And so it's so simple to send an email or to pick up a phone and call one of the other franchises. So yeah, I would recommend it highly, because it is a great system to actually enter into. And as you would find out by meeting Nick and Omar, the founders, the same mentality that they had from the beginning of keeping it a fun environment, of making sure that it was something that was solid as they grew, is still in play today?
I already have. I have family members that are now very interested.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe there will be some more college hunks in our family. But also just the fact that we share a similar vision with the founders of the company who have this grand vision, and the values that they have, and then just the opportunity that they give us to where they take a step back and let us grow our own business too. I think it's huge versus maybe some other stories I've heard of other franchise owners and other franchises where they were pretty much governed on every decision they made, and they didn't have a lot of liberty, and they ended up feeling like they worked more for the franchisor rather than being their own business. But College Hunks really encourages you to step out and take ownership and make it what you can make it.
You know, our desire is to make an impact in the lives of others as well as the community. That's why we own our own business. That's why we do what we do, is to make an impact. You know, if you can leave this world and leave it in better shape than when you left, and have a legacy that you can pass on to others, not just through your children, but others within the community itself, then I think that is a very well-lived life. And so this, especially with College Hunks, provides us that opportunity to have that biggest impact, because people literally are inviting you into their private world. I mean, it's, you know, you don't get all these opportunities to actually enter into somebody else's environment and enter into somebody else's house when otherwise people may not have the opportunity to. So you're given an awesome opportunity to impact the community, impact the environment that you're in, and impact people's lives. And I think that, to me, is probably the most desirable thing that helps us do what we do.
Yeah, and I just to add to that, I would say for us personally, what you would want to know about us in addition, and the fact that our faith in the Lord Jesus Christ really has impacted us to see a much bigger picture than ourselves, to understand that we carry a lot more than we think we carry. We have a lot more opportunities and abilities than we can see ourselves, and to really dream big and for big things, and to really have the faith to step out in life and pursue those things and not feel limited by what you see, but know that there's so much more that we can pursue and do with our lives than only by what we see or think we can do.